Hi and welcome, I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos? What are they all about? Well, in a Let's Build video, I take a model kit and I'll show you guys how to put it together. If there's any areas of concern, as in things on the sprue are numbered differently to the instructions, or there's any bits on the sprue that you need to be careful taking off, pipes for example, chains, weapon on the side here. If there's anything then when you take it off looks like it shouldn't be, it's part of the sprue needs to be taken away, but it's actually a pin or something that needs to stay. Again, I'll give you guys a heads up. If you suffer with dyslexia or struggle with instruction in general, it's a visual way to help you. If you're interested in models for a particular army that you have or that you want to start collecting, this is a visual way to help you, show you how to put it together. These Let's Build videos are designed for everyone of any age, no matter your skill level. It's all just a visual way to help you. Some people look at, oh, I don't know how to build that. It's no, but you come look at the kit and you go, wow, there's too much on there. These videos are here to help you. So for all my regulars here, guys, I love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so before we get started into the sprue, tools needed as always. Mod line scraper. You can use a hobby knife or some sort of surgical blade. If you're using a sharp tool, just be careful it's sharp. Let everyone know in the house know you're using it so nobody scares you by accident. We have clippers. Clippers. I had them over on the table, putting together termagants off camera. Alright, clippers, useful part of our most useful tool that we have. I have sanding sponge. You have sanding sponge or sanding block. The difference is the sponge is flexible and the block isn't. It's basically sandpaper with sponge. Hardware shop, between the painting section and the wallpaper section, you'll find those. It is a plastic kit, so plastic glue. I do have super glue at hand just in case. So for everyone that's new, before we start looking for numbers and start snipping stuff down and everything else, we have a look at the sprue just to ascertain what's what, to make stuff easier. Because if you look at this sprue, sorry, I didn't even tell you what I'm building today. You would have seen from the thumbnail, I'm building this lovely lady, Morvenn Vahl. I hope I haven't butchered her name there. She's in a Paragon warsuit. So I said to myself, let me get her done. I can then start see how difficult Paragon warsuits are. Now I know hers is going to either be easier or it's going to be a bit more difficult because there's more parts to it. So let's get looking at the sprue and what we can see. So obviously that's our base piece. We don't need to worry too much about that. I can see a foot there, so it's not too worried about that. But I'll tell you what, guys, let me bring that up so you can see. I'm really impressed with the sister stuff, to be with sisters models. There's so much detail. Look at the skulls on there. I'm really gonna go to town on that. Anyway, got some legs. That's for the Paragon warsuit. That looks like the front chest piece. That looks like a missile pod there. Look nice. There's probably these pieces here. I'll probably go on the front here as like shin guard type things. There's like shoulder pauldron pieces. We've got an arm there. We've got heavy bolter pieces. Looks like a part of a heavy bolter. I could be wrong. There's bullets for the heavy bolter. Looks like the back of her. That looks like some sort of saint that hangs off of her probably. Looks like a lovely shield piece there. I think she has a shield, but I think heavy bolter comes out of that piece there. There's a close combat weapon. Again, let's have a look at detail on that. That is absolutely, for me, that's a piece that I would have to wash down. A thin coat of maybe white scars and then just wash it down. There's so much detail on that. There's these pieces here that look like cloaks, part of a cloak. There's another little saint with a piping coming up. See, bits like this and bits like this, even these guys, even the bullets, are perfect for the sanding sponge. Because it's a very thin piece, you don't want to be trying to be using this to scrape it. With the sanding sponge, you can just, brush it down. Another good thing with the sanding sponge, before I forget, if you put a model together and then realise I missed a mould line here or I missed a mould line there, this can come in and just, you know, clean up for you very easy. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting the first pieces ready. Well, I'm going to go finish getting set up, and then I'm going to come back to you with the first 2 pieces. Right, before I forget, this model, okay, this is actually from the Santorium Guard box, which was not Christmas just gone, the Christmas before they came out Christmas. I was lucky to get my hands on one. This is from that box. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you straight away, if you went and bought this girl separately in the normal box now, the instructions should be the same. The reason I'm saying this, she's on her own sprue for starters, and her instructions are on their own book. When I opened up the box, there's an instruction booklet for everything in that box. So by the looks of it, it's going to be 100% correct. So the first pieces we need is number 1 and number 4. They're right next to each other, just below the spear. I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and show you how they go together. So this first piece is very, very straightforward. I put some glue in there on the edge. This just slots in like so. Okay, there is a little semicircle piece there, or a quarter of a semicircle, that slots into the arm slot. Very, very easy, very simple. I really like it so far. Just 2 pieces I put together, I actually love it. Right, so the next piece we need is number 7, which is this crazy piece here, and number 8, which is this piece. Now be careful when you're snipping this because of the pipes, and be careful when snipping this because this is 2 pieces. Well, it's 1 piece, but it's only connected in the middle there. So just snip them very carefully, clean them down very carefully. This is where sanding sponge comes in very well. This is one of those lovely straightforward pieces. There's little pins, there's little holes. I've actually put glue on this already, but there's little holes, and that just lines up like so. Now there is a couple of horrible join lines there, but all we do, take the glue, just run the glue along the edge of it. That's that piece. And this piece then connects to that piece there. That just slots on like so. Okay, so I'm going to glue that into place. It's a lovely little living saint on top of her shoulder. Right, next 2 pieces we need are number 5 and number 6. Again, there's small pins on this one and small holes. It just basically lines up like so. Okay, so it gives you another little living saint. And then this piece goes in exactly the same place on that side of her body. So much detail in that already. It's absolutely amazing. Right, we need number 2 and number 3. They're next to the heads. Okay, just below a little missile pod. So 2 and 3. And this one has a funny little shape on the inside, and there's a hole on that side. One just slots into the other. Does it also go that way around? No, it does go that way around. There's little teeth either side. We'll get it in, there we go. So as you can see, I just pushed it together and kept turning it until it slid in. Now this piece goes, let's see how it goes. There's that funny little shape in there. Okay, so you can see it just slots in like so. Okay, so a bit of glue on this end of the pipe and a bit of glue on the back there to put it together. Right, next piece is number 23, which is this front piece with the missile pods. Now, when you're snipping this off, just be careful, because you've got, apart from the little, that's not attached, thankfully, but this is very, very thin. Okay, it's a very thin piece of plastic. So be very careful when you're snipping it off. I would suggest snipping this one first, and then the top ones. Again, it's very straightforward. Just glues over the front of her. Let's line up properly. There we go. Like so. So now you have the two living saints behind her missile pod. You've got a slot there for the arms, look, for little hands. Because that's the next part. I'm not looking forward to the next part. So the next part we need, number 26 and 27. There's 26. 27 is a little arm. 27 is up there by the spear. So I'm going to snip these two pieces off carefully. I'll show you how they go together. Right, just dry fit this and it fit in perfectly. Let's see what happens now when I go to put it in. On the end, I put a bit of glue there, and I put a little bit of glue up there. So this piece, this funny little elbow piece, that just slots in there, like so. It's not quite in properly. Still not in properly. But you get the gist. Now, I'm going to go up camera, fiddle around with that a little bit to try and get that on a bit more better. And then it's telling me to glue it straight to this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it set for a little while. I'm then going to put the other arm together and show you what numbers they are and how they go together. Leave that to set for a little while. And I'll come back to you again. Right, so next to are 24 and 25. Just slap bang next to each other. Right, so this one has thrown me off a bit. The instructions are not very clear which way it goes in, because this piece looks like it can go either way, but one end is circular, the other end is flat, so I'm not sure. So the best way of doing it is to apply the pieces to where they go, because then that will line it up. Maybe I should have done the other one this way as well. Just a piece of glue in that circle there, and a piece of glue in there. So this one, bloody pick it up, goes in here, like so. And I think the glue goes there, into that little thing. So now we've got this piece, which one end is sort of circular with a flat piece on it, so that's going to be the piece that goes in there. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and fiddle around with this to get this in. Right, that took longer than I expected. Okay, now that's very, very difficult to get in. You might be better off putting it together before you putting that in there. But for me, I just couldn't make heads or tail of it. But you know, that's part of these videos. So you can actually, if you're building Valerie here, you can actually go, right, okay, I see how he done that. I see how that goes. So this end has a little ball on it, okay, that connects into the arm bit there. This end has like a weird little rectangular slot that slots into the rectangular slot. But it took me ages. I don't think that wire's in the right place. I think it's meant to be under here. It's not a big issue, in all honesty. So it looks 99% right. It's only if you have a good close-up look, you go, oh, that pipe is supposed to be in there. It maybe should be a little bit that way, a little bit more. I don't know, but anyway, the other one, without me knocking the camera all over the place, goes in exactly the same space. The other side. So I'm going to glue that into place. This is really very, very easy to go in. So I glued these two separately. there we go. So I'm going to leave it to dry for a little bit. I'm going to go on to the next pieces now. Right, next week we need is it's actually 10, which is this bolt gun piece, and number 9, which is this piece. So these two pieces what we need. Now this piece is actually very straightforward. There's a big pin there, there's a hole there, that just slots in like so. There we go. Okay, and then they send me this piece, then glues into there. So I'm going to glue that in. I'm not going to waste time with trying to wait for this to set, because bullets have to go into it and everything else. Now just here, there's a little bit of cloth hanging down, a purity seal type thing, but there's two little pipe bits there. They connect onto there. Bring this slightly off. Okay, so you see you've got the purity seal coming down, there's a little bar going across. The stuff this side is part of the bolt gun, the stuff that side is what's part of our armour, so you just line those two up like I've done. Now that should give me the angle to feed the bullets from the back into there. I'll leave that to dry. Well, I'm not going to leave it dry, cheek, no. Let's get the bullets gun. Let's get the bullets for this one, which is number 15, which is this big long chain here of bullets. Right, so in there, very careful, I'm holding this, there is a little slot. The bullets go into said slot like so, so it comes around like that. There you go. Let me drop it the model. I'm not going to wait around, go to the next piece, which is 14. The reason I'm not waiting around is because if that sets and it's in the wrong place, I've got no play time to correct it. If it's slightly off, I've still got a bit of play time to move the arm and the bullets and stuff like that. So done 14. I'm going to try and do this on camera so I don't mess it up. Right, so I've roughly got it into place. It's not perfect, but now what I'm going to do, double check that, yeah, it goes swing under. So I'm just going to try and that's very quickly. Now I'm going to have to go off camera and mess around with this. Well, actually, that went in pretty sound. There is a little rectangular pin there, and there's a little tiny rectangular gap in the bullets. Same on that side, but this side doesn't look 100%. It is though. But there's a little rectangular pin and a rectangular hole in the one that comes out. And a pin in the little bitty pin in number 14, and the same that side. So once you get that lined up, they still don't look right to me. It is right though. Yeah, it looks right. Anyway, I'm going to leave that to set and dry for a little while now, and then come back for the next piece. Next pieces don't seem too bad, but I'm going to be messing around with the gun arm, so I'd rather just let all these pieces, the arm that side, this bolt gun arm and the other little arm, just set before I start trying to fiddle around. But doing that, the storm bolt, the heavy bolter arm on her, you have to do that like the way that I did it. I didn't leave it to dry. I just started, put one bit together, the gun together, glued it into place, and then realised the pipe, glued that on. Then went straight to the bullets, glued that in. Then have little tiny bullets, number 14, glued them in. If I would have left it, like I said, and it was slightly off or slightly wrong, I'd have no play time to manoeuvre it into place. So now I'm going to leave that to set properly and come back to you in a few hours for me, but it'll be like seconds for you. Right, so the next pieces we need is 12 and 13. This is pretty straightforward, just very fiddly. So this piece, you'll see there's a little pin at the back there. This very, very fiddly. Come on, get in there. Just slots together like so. Gives me that lovely little pin at the back. With a bolt on at the front. The next piece I need is number 11, which is the shield piece. So there's a hole in the bolt on there. There's a square pin that just slots on there like so. Now you'll see there's that weird square hole there. Let me put that together with a square pin there. That glues in there. So I'm going to glue that in. So here's where we're at. Looks nice. Coming together nicely. Now we need 16 and 17. 16 is the front part, 17 is the back part. But you can clearly see there's a little design on the pauldron that will line up nicely. Now if you did what I did and slipped them both off, don't panic, because it is very simple. This little tassel here is the front, is number 16, the front part. That just slots. There is a little groove in there. Let me throw it across the table. That slots on there like so. I haven't been no glue on it, but it does sit on there. Okay. And then the other part then sits on the other side, but glues in to the two halves glued together. Let me just make some glue and show you. Glue that there. Don't knock in the camera, you idiot. And this side glues in over this here, like so. Now, there's a horrible joint line, but there's also a little scuffy bit of sprue there. So I'm going to fill that in. Even that shoulder pauldron, this little skull on the front there. There's some amazing, so much detail on these sister models. I love them, absolutely love them. The only thing I find with the sisters are very fiddly to put together, but the result is well worth it. Okay, so the next piece that we need is number 30 and 31. So 30 is this leg, and 31 is this piece, as I thought it would be. I'm going to snip those off. Well, so that's very straightforward. This one, there's a square bar on the shin there, just below the knee. There's a square hole that just slots on like so. Very, very straightforward. Now what we need is number 32. Plastic glue everywhere, you idiot. 32, which is this bad boy here. So this piece, there's this little piece on top that just sits up there like so. Now my only concern here is that I've put the cloak on and it's too far forward, because obviously there's going to be a bit that goes on the leg there. It's my only concern. I'm saying that now because if it is too far forward, then you guys can see the mistake I've made. So the next one we need is 28 and 33. Now there's 2 holes there and there's a circle at the top there. You can see by this layout there's two pins in a circle that slots in like so. Okay, now this piece then, by the looks of it, slots in here. Yeah, slots in there perfectly. So I'm going to glue that into place and then come back for the next piece. Okay, so the next piece we need is number 29. Right, and this is the piece that goes over the front here. Okay, so it just lines up like so. Of course, it wants to give me problems. Let's come here with a different angle. There we go. Now we'll see there's a horrible join line there. So I'm just going to put plastic glue over the top. Nice. So the next one we need is the other foot, which is 35. And it's telling me 36. Oh yeah, sorry, the number's there. I'll see the number there and I thought, what the hell? That's done. 36, which is the shin guard and the foot. The shin guard goes on exactly the same as the first one, so I don't need to show you that. Right, one thing with this foot, there are 2 pins on the bottom. You want to leave them on there. I'll just show you why. Because her stand that she stands on, see there's pinholes there. I don't know exactly which way it goes on, but there's a normal foot, which is the first one we did, and this diamond pinhole there. So I don't know why she slots in there, but she's going to slot in there somehow. So the next piece we actually need is number 34, which is this piece up here. Exactly like the first one. This just slots in over the top like so. Okay, now I'm not going to wait for that to cure, because if it is slightly wrong it gives me playtime, like I said. The next piece that we need is number 37, which is this piece here. Right, so this piece has that funny little bit in there that slots into here with the shin part, same as the first one, but I had this slightly wrong, so when I dry fitted it actually pushed into place. So it goes on, so I've gone off camera there, like so. It's another, reason why you when working with plastic glue, if you're not sure with something like this, you just try and get it all done as quick as you can, because otherwise it gives you playtime then. The next thing we do is take leg 1, a bit of glue on this side, a bit of glue down here on the cloak, because the cloak should line up as well. Leg number 2, and that slots in. Yeah, there's supposed to be a little gap between them. That slots in. Sorry, I've gone off camera again. I do apologise, guys. Like so. Now the fact that I run glue along it doesn't matter, because that point of contact at the bottom here is going to seal it properly. I'll seal it together. I'm not too happy about that bit at the top there. But here's what we do. We just drop a little bit of plastic glue along that little bit where it joins. Not only will that seal that gap, it will also get rid of the join line as it goes together. But when it's undercoated black, that's going to hide it even more. So the next piece that we need, there's nothing wrong with it, it's correct. It's just wasn't too happy with the way it looked. But now look, so when it's glue dries, you're not going to see nothing. There's a little gap at the front there, as it's meant to. So now we need number 20 and number 19. No, 19 is the spear. You're going to be very, very careful taking this amazing piece off. And number 20 is this piece here. Yeah, just double checking. Sorry, we need 18 as well, because it shows me 20 and the spear, but then below that is actually 18 and the spear. You should do that one first, so 18 as well, guys. Right, this is going to be one of those annoying things, and I'm dreadful when I'm fearful when I come to paint it, because it is very springy. Now in here on the hand there's a little tiny square hole. On the inside of the hand there's a little square pin. So that, let me throw it on the table, just slots into there like so. So now we have this lovely, but any point of contact is there. Now I do see a little tiny join line. No, it's not too bad, it's the foam. Of course it doesn't want to stay on there. So I'm going to go off camera and hold into place. Now, so with the spear on, I'm going to put a bit of glue in that little rectangle piece there, along that little bit, and that little hole there. So I'm going to have some glue in it, because this one has a little rectangle pin. So this just sits all the way around. Oh no, sorry. No, that is right. I put the glue in the hole, it doesn't need to. It goes onto the spear here. So I need to put a little drop on the spear. I can see exactly where it goes, just in there. That's not, there we go. I think that looks right to me. Even the arm there, so much detail on it. This model is just, I tell you what, they are very fiddly to build, sisters, but I am blown away by it. How much detail there on them. Absolutely insane. But I'm going to leave it to dry for a few minutes. Right, so whilst that's drying, we're going to take the two shoulder pauldrons left, 21 and 22, and they both have the little pin. Oh, no one doesn't. But they both go on the same way as the other side. 21, which is this one with all the little flurry bits on the side here, is the front part of the pauldron, and 22 is the back part. So the arm as well, let me drop in it, glues into there. Okay, and I think I don't know, show me. Oh no, that's something. Yeah, that goes into there. I think it connects onto this somehow. No, it doesn't. It just goes into there, and the spear comes behind her. So I'm going to glue the spear on and glue the pauldrons on at the same time. Right, next it's telling me to glue the body into the legs. I don't think that's the best thing to do. I'm going to take the base piece off, which is number 41. So not the last piece on the sprue, but it's one of the last pieces on her 50mm base. So I've glued that to the base. Very straightforward. There's one flat edge. All flat pieces that just glues in there. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put glue on her legs and glue her legs into place. So I've got all that correct in. Just putting the body on is very, very straightforward. actually meant to be. Like that, because then our foot goes in there, and then that pin's in there. Now, I've not got it quite right there, so I'm going to manoeuvre it a little bit more. If you can't line the pin up, then this is what you do. Take clippers, snip it off. So then when you come to line it up, the foot goes into place, and the other foot will just land like that. No one's going to see that it's not in the right place. So enough glue in the foot. There's some glue in there. Now, I would leave that to dry for an hour or so, because you don't want to be trying to put the body on and the legs will fall all over the place. So the next thing you do, there is a choice now of 3 different heads. She has the helmeted head, which is amazing. She has 2 heads with a face on show. I don't know. I want to challenge myself with skin toning still. And I like the hair, because I always do my sisters with crazy hair. But the helmeted head is actually amazing. But I'm going to go with one of these heads. Now it's very straightforward. It goes in there. So I'm going to glue that into place and then come back, leave it for an hour or so to dry, and then I'm going to glue the body onto that and come back to your final thoughts. Well, so the next thing to do, I've actually left this for a whole day to make sure it's set. Just be careful of that, because that is the head goes in here. This is a very fiddly piece, but there is a little groove in the bottom there, and there was a little square pin on the back of underneath the head. So I'm going to put some glue in there. Of course it doesn't want to come out. I'm going to glue the head into place anyway. But what I could do, and what you could do, is snip that little square off, so you can position the head in different ways, look in different directions. Which I might actually do that. So now that the head's in place, I did snip the thing off the little pip off the bottom. I'll put some glue on there. You can see it just slides into there, like so. So I'm going to have to hold it. Of course I am. I'm going to hold this for a few minutes and come back to you my final thoughts for this lady. Right, so she's all done. Now my final thoughts on this lovely lady. This is a fantastic sculpt. I'm actually really pleased with everything to do with the sisters. I mean, I think the only ones that weren't over impressive was these girls, but I think the normal sisters unit as well will be just the same as that lady. But everything else that I've built so far, from the Immobilator to this, to Valerie here, you know, absolutely amazing. The Coness, the Sister Superior, I think they're absolutely all amazing sculpts. For me, this one and the Immobilator just absolutely just push it out of the park. And in terms of difficulty rating, see, I don't know, she wasn't too difficult. There was a few bits that were just really tedious. I'd probably give her a 4.5. The little hands at the side that are holding the operation mechanisms for the suit, they were annoying. Okay, one I glued the 2 bits together and then glued it in. That was fine. This side was a pain in the ass because I couldn't figure out which way it went. I mean, the head was a little bit of a pain. I had to use my mold line scraper just to poke her head into the place I wanted it. But again, I did take the pip off the bottom. But apart from that, it's absolutely beautiful. There's very little to no mold lines, which is nice. She looks absolutely, I can't wait to get this girl painted. I say that about every model, but this one is very, very special. Even the back of her even the back of her has so much detail on it. It's just absolutely amazing. Anyways, a 4.5 I'd give this lady. If you're not subscribed to the channel, guys, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing. Everyone's smashed the thumbs up button, so it triggers YouTube to share this video with more and more people. Smash your notifications if you haven't already done so, because I don't just do Let's Builds on here, and I don't just do sister Let's Builds, I do everything. From terrain to painting to battle reports. Let's Builds, weekly Wednesday, you know, sometimes some of a little random crazy video that I do as well. So come and hit the buttons if you haven't already. Come join this community, because it's an amazing community of guys. Absolutely amazing. You guys are just amazing. Guys, until next time, any comments or thoughts or anything about this particular model, chuck on below as always. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy.